Jaden Smith is one of the most interesting Nepo babies because every time he comes out, the world's opinion on him gets worse. For example, a few months ago, Grammys happened. And instead of him stepping out normal, instead of stepping out in a little suit or something, he come out with a castle on his head. And the whole internet started looking at him sideways. Everybody cooking him. That wouldn't be the only time he would get cooked though. Basically throughout his whole rap career, he would be getting clowned on by the internet. This career didn't go how he wanted to go. But the world's opinion on the man was something that was built up over the years. As you know, Jaden Smith, the son of Will Smith, big famous actor. And at the moment, not only does the world have a weird relationship with Jaden, same thing goes for Will. So Jaden Smith, he born into all this money. I'm talking about acting family, and he went down that route. He started acting too. He young, dropping box office hits. He was the Karate Kid. People loved that performance. They loved that performance so much, he was getting the bag. He was one of the highest paid child actors at that time. TMZ wrote this: actor Jaden Smith, now 26, earned a whopping $3 million salary after starring in the Karate Kid. The outlet reportedly obtained his contract and revealed that he was paid $1 million for the remake. So Jaden, he's starting to grow up, and he growing up in front of the world. We are watching him really evolve. He would evolve from this actor to kind of turning musician. 2010, him and Justin Bieber come out, drop hit song, Never Say Never. Y'all remember that. Fast forward 2 years later, 2012, Jaden would come out dropping his first solo body of work, Look Cool Cafe tape. And he was young at the time, but he was experimenting with something other than acting. And I don't think it's a surprise that he was doing this, because around this time, his acting career was not hitting like it was supposed to. There was a point in time where Jaden and his dad dropped the film. And I'm talking about it was hated. So hated that the whole world was just clowning Jaden and Will Smith. And that hate was getting so bad that Jaden would come out saying that, look, I want to be emancipated. Basically taking away his parents' legal rights. Independent wrote this: Will Smith revealed that his son, Jaden Smith, asked to become emancipated when he was 15. Jaden's request came after the pair starred in the 2013 film After Earth, which Will described as an abysmal box office and critical failure. He also said what was worse was that Jaden took the hit. Jaden had faithfully done everything that I instructed him to, and I had coached him into the worst public mauling he'd ever experienced. He said that when Jaden was like, look, I want to get emancipated, he said it shattered his heart. See, even though that situation really damaged Jaden's relationship with the public before he could even build a relationship with the public, the internet wasn't ever really good to this man. Throughout his life, throughout his time of being famous, he would always come out and he would get to chatting nonsense. He would get to chatting that bullshit. 2013, he comes on Twitter and he starts talking about how he finds wisdom in everyone dropping out of school. This is exactly what he tweeted. If everybody in the world dropped out of school, we would have a much more intelligent society. And niggas was looking at him crazy because they like, what are you talking about? He was getting fried by the internet. They was looking at him like, bro, you are this rich Nepo baby. You're homeschooled. What do you mean the world would be more intelligent if niggas didn't go to school? And that wouldn't be his only tweet. It would be dozens and dozens of tweets of him on Twitter, acting fake spiritual, talking nonsense, and I don't understand the point he was trying to get across, but he said it, and the negative feeling that people developed for him back then would never go away. As the years would go on, we would see how out of touch he was with reality. See, the difference between Jaden and other people his same age, and even other artists his same age, a lot of them lived regular lives. Jaden didn't get to live a regular life. He had the mindset of this rich nigga who didn't really surround himself with regular people, and he was open about that. He did a specific interview where he was doing exactly what I said before, talking nonsense.
You know, yeah, I did. Once I went out into the world and I saw what people, you know, how people feel about my parents, you know, I didn't understand, you know, I'm still understand more and more every day that, you know, they're just a staple in the world and they made people feel a type of way that no one has ever made anyone, and just make me sit there while they're talking, debate with all these people, talk numbers, talk crazy stuff. And then I would just, from a young age, always being around that, always seeing that, like, I am very happy that I spent my childhood with more adults than I did with kids my own age, because I was picking up more things from adults than I were from kids my own age. And I look and I go around sometimes and I hang out with other people that are my age and they're just kind of just selfie. I'm just like, dude, like, oh my God, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now? Can we talk about what's going on with the environment? Can we talk about other things? And don't worry, like, I like to turn up, I like to flex, I like to play songs loud and jump in the crowd in Atlanta, but you know, I'm always looking for that next thing. I'm not satisfied at just like a party.
And this moment right here would be one of the biggest hits to his reputation. When I say this was viral, I mean it. If you remember back 2018, 2019, that clip was all over the internet. You couldn't get away from it. Basically, that nigga Jaden Smith was the butt of every single joke on the internet for a long time because he came out and said that. And also, Jaden Smith, like, whole thing was making his music to appeal to people, making music that, oh, people can relate to. But throughout his come up, we would have him saying stuff like this and saying things that made him seem so out of touch. How could somebody relate to Jaden Smith? How could someone relate to the things that he would come online and say? Throughout his come up, he had always paid respect to Kid Cudi, saying, oh yeah, Cudi inspired me. He really made me who I am.
Everybody says that Cudi saved their life. Everybody, you know, if you're born at that right time, everybody was in high school and just like chilling, and everybody had that same experience listening to Cudi. If someone listened to Cudi, you knew like something about them. You know what I mean? It's like you can tell certain things about them. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh man, I wanna be that type of artist. You know what I mean? Like, that's why Cudi is my favorite artist.
And with how Jaden Smith presented himself, it kind of made it hard for him to recreate that moment for other people. And you know he's the type of person that would want people to be inspired by him. But every time he would come out and speak, he would really show how disconnected he was from his fans and from the people that actually supported him. But past that, he would lock in with the music for a while. Yeah, it started a little rough. Yeah, he got a little bit of hate, but he would start to feed the streets. He would come out and drop this big debut album. But leading up to this moment, we would kind of see Jaden Smith start to break down. He would start to be vulnerable with the internet on how he was feeling and his emotions. There was a time where Jaden Smith came to IG saying that, oh, I failed my dad. And he was speaking on how hard and rough his life was at that time.
It's gonna be so funny to tell my dad that like failed straight up.
Yeah, you didn't fail. Yeah, I failed.
Everybody follow your heart, okay? You know what I'm saying? Do exactly what you want to do. Be the you that you want to be. I'm about to move out of LA. There's a lot of bad things here. Create the life that you want for yourself. You know? Don't try to be somebody else, you know. And it's hard these days to really create the life that you want for yourself because there's nobody here that's really like supporting the youth or the youth's creativity and the things that they want to do and how they want to live life. You know, there's no one supporting us in that way, and that's what I'm trying to do with Misfits Rap. And at the end of 2017, we're gonna do some really, really dope inspirational stuff that's beyond just music and clothes, you know. Dude, this is crazy. What is Instagram Live? Why aren't scientists Instagram living? Huh? Why am I? Why aren't people Instagram living to cure cancer right now? Why aren't we Instagram living about peace right now? This makes no sense. Nothing about this life makes any sense. To really think about the fact that nobody wants to support our creative endeavors and nobody wants to help us be creative. Nobody wants to give us a support system to make something that's actually better for the world. They don't want us to change.
But past that, later on in 2017, he would recover. He would come out and drop this debut album, Sire. And there was a lot of people paying attention at this moment. I mean, Will Smith's son, Hollywood famous superstar actor, just dropped this whole album. So people listened and people gave their thoughts.
Jaden Smith on this project does a good job of kind of getting rid of the cliches that I had in regards to his music. You compare a project like this to like his earlier work, you can definitely see where it stands and how much further he's progressed. I definitely think for a first attempt, like this being a first album and he's 19, I think it's a good job. In regards to production, there is everything on this project, ranging from guitar to 808, heavy bass that's incorporated really well, piano, just some really perfect use of instrumentals here that help to make some beautiful sounding music. The biggest problem I'd say I'd have with this project is the fact that Jaden Smith, when he's rapping most of the time, I can understand where he's coming from, but you don't really feel the intensity of where he's coming from just because it's within his voice sometimes. Like Breakfast transitions into Hope, and the end of Breakfast is like, do you think you can save the rap game? And then Jaden comes in with these lyrics that are very aware of the state of the world, but he's also rapping on some tracks as if he's so disconnected from it, or as if this is something he really doesn't understand. On Fallen, which is another track that I hated on this project, it makes it hard to take any of the rapping he does in regards to things that don't necessarily affect him seriously when he talks about, you know, building a separate world, something that most people are just unable to do. Some of the tracks on here, it's like you can tell that this is a rich kid rapping about regular people problems and not really understanding them. Like some of the time when he's rapping, you can tell like he's rapping about things because it's what people 9 times out of 10 have been talking about already, so he feels like if he doesn't talk about it, he's leaving himself out of the loop. But that's only in regards to certain things. I mean, I like that he keeps it fresh. I like that he brings up concepts that not everyone else does. I mean, making an album about a lost boy. You can definitely tell he wears his inspirations on his sleeve, like Kanye and Kid Cudi. You know, on some tracks it sounds like Tyler, the Creator. Even Childish Gambino at some points. But I would say the biggest 2 influences that you can hear are Kanye and Kid Cudi. I would say on the track with A$AP Rocky, he almost mirrors the star flow that Brockhampton totes on their Saturation project. So he's kind of like a healthy mix of everyone without being
Skid Row. He wanted to bring vegan food to a lot of the hungry people in the area. You know, Skid Row is one of the poorest places in LA. It's a lot of homeless people in the area. He wanted to feed them. But even though he has built up this trash relationship with the internet, this trash reputation, that don't necessarily mean he's a bad person. He's just another one of them people that fell victim to how harsh the internet is and all of the hate. Now, granted, a lot of it was self-inflicted by him saying or doing bullshit or coming out here cross-dressing, looking crazy. It got him attention, but not all of that attention was positive. Point is, the man is a walking controversy machine. Anytime you hear about Jaden, it's not, oh, he dropped a fire song. It's, oh, what did he do now? What did he say? How did he come out looking? Like what happened last year, Jaden and this girl were dating for a while and they was popping out a lot. You always seen them. Until they ended up breaking up. Headlines everywhere. Jaden Smith allegedly cheated. Now he getting clowned by the whole world. You go on Twitter, everybody making fun of him. They like, nigga, you was cheating on her. She look like that. You was cheating. You know how the internet get. You know how Twitter get. And he probably seen it all. Granted, now, if he cheated, he kind of deserved to hate. Cheating ain't right. Point is, the man is a walking controversy machine. He built his brand up off of antics instead of necessarily good music or good movies or him doing something good. Then him being a Nepo baby on top of everything else that he's done just made everything look worse. He coming from money. He coming from fame. And he be chatting. He be talking nothing. This real similar to the artist from my last video, Cardi B. She came out building this whole career just for it to basically end with people paying more attention to her antics than her actual music itself. And in real time, we are seeing the effects. She's depleting fans by the day because she's starving them. Similar to Jaden Smith, he ain't fed his fans in years. Cardi B did the same thing.